What will happen in a drag race between a Datsun 240Z, a Nissan 350Z, a Nissan 370Z, and the latest of the Z cars, the Nissan 400Z? Well, I'm going to find out by racing them over the standing quarter mile. I'm Matt Watson, and you're watching Carwow. I love how the bonnet opens on this 240Z. Look, the way it's front hinged, glorious. And check this out, 2.4 litre straight six naturally aspirated engine. Now it drives the rear wheels, in this case by a 5-speed manual gearbox. The earlier cars had a 4-speed. This thing puts out 153 horsepower and 198 newton meters of torque. Now you could get a later 2.6 with 162 horsepower, and then there was a 2.8 with 170 horsepower. But this was where it all started. Oh, look at that there, look at that, look at the carbs. How times have changed. The 350Z is fitted with a 3.5 litre naturally aspirated V6 which drives the rear wheels via a 6-speed manual gearbox, though a 5-speed auto was available at a later date. Now in standard tune the car would have 280 horsepower, but this one is a limited edition NISMO S tune. There's only 50 of these worldwide. It's very, very rare. So what they did, they took the engine, they tweaked it slightly. Look, we've got a hard intake pipe, they updated the exhaust, they gave it a bit of an ECU tune as well, uprated the cooling system and the clutch, and this now has 300 horsepower and 363 newton meters of torque. The 370Z has a 3.7 litre naturally aspirated V6, once again driving the rear wheels via a 6-speed manual or a 7-speed automatic with flappy paddles. You can probably tell that this one has been tuned slightly by the owner. However, it's on a stock map, so it's running the standard horsepower and torque, so that's 331 horsepower and 366 newton meters of torque. If we change the map over, which we might do later on to see what happens, it will then have 365 horsepower. The latest 400Z has a 3 litre V6 engine, only it has twin turbochargers. The result is 400 horsepower and 475 newton meters of torque. That drives the rear wheels via a 6-speed manual gearbox in this case, and you can also get a 9-speed automatic gearbox. The 240Z weighs in at 1,068 kilograms. The 350Z is significantly heavier, at 1,465 kilograms. The 370Z is a little bit heavier still, at 1,496 kilograms, and this latest 400Z, once again, is quite a bit heavier. That weighs in at 1,604 kilograms. What does that do to the car's power to weight ratios?
Well, as you can see, it's steadily improved over the years. But before we see how that affects performance,
what an absolute dream!
There's another important test I need to do first.
Let's compare how these cars sound. So I want to experience it for myself from the outside. We're going to start with the 240Z. So give it some revs. That's quite nice, but I want to hear it from the front because I think it's going to sound better from the front. Yes. It's better from the front because of the carburetors. Right, let's try the 350Z. Oh yes. I'm liking that. Let me just try that one from the front as well. Go on, give it a few at the front. Okay, that's a definite improvement. Now, let's try the 370Z, though this one does have an aftermarket exhaust. Let's try at the front on the intake. Go on, do it some more. That's interesting. So the aftermarket exhaust of this sounds better than the standard exhaust, well, upgraded exhaust, but standard on the 350Z. But the intake on the 350Z is better. Let's come to the latest one, the 400Z. So go on, rev this up. Okay, exhaust wise, it's the worst so far. Let's have a listen to the intake. Get some turbo action maybe. Go. Okay, I've had enough of that. A bit of a fail for the 400Z. Ryan, let's cut the chat and get on with this drag race. We've got Rory in the 240Z.
I love how I always get the one that might break, so I'm a bit worried.
There is one small problem with your car though. There is no rev counter. Well, there is, but it's not operational. So how are you going to know when to change gear?
It comes from within. I feel it. It kind of communicates to me. So to be honest with you, I'm just going to listen and hope for the best.
Obviously, there's no rev limiter on that because it's got carbs. So anyway, good luck. Bob, in your 370Z, what is your tactic?
Balls out and go for it.
Can you keep your balls in your trousers, please? But you can still go for it. So what do you think is going to happen between these two? I think there's going to be an interesting race here.
I think the 350 might have it, but I'm not 100% sure. I will give it my all.
Okay, finally we're going to come to Tommy in the 400Z. I mean, surely you got this thing sewn up right.
Well, hopefully, yeah. I've actually got an S mode for my gearbox, so I can adjust the RPM that I launch at. So if I don't win, it's going to be a bit awkward for me, isn't it?
Well, let's see. Let's get on with this race. So tactic on this, rev it up to 4.5, dump the clutch, get going. It's got a competition clutch in it because that's part of this upgrade package on the car. Yeah, hopefully it'll do its thing. Let's go.
3, 2, 1.
Come on then. Oh, that's second gear.
That 240 was away so well. Here comes Bob though.
Balls out and go for it.
Oh, Bob's coming past, just hold onto the gears, 350. That 240's been dropped now after an initial epic launch, but this is so close. We'll just wait for the 240 to join us. Oh my goodness, first to the 240. Like, your launch was almost as good as mine.
I have to say, I'm quite pleased with the launch. For a split second, we were neck and neck for about 5 meters, and then I watched you guys have a race, but quite pleased with that. That was just so enjoyable. It sounded epic from in here.
So Bob, I was quite surprised that I beat you off the line, but then you came past, and these cars seem to have slightly different gearing, like you were changing gear and then dropping back, and then likewise with me, it was all a bit different. But once you came past me, I wasn't going to be able to catch you.
I actually thought you were going to catch me.
Well, I didn't. That's the main thing. And I thought you might beat the 400Z, but you didn't quite, did you?
That 400Z, once it gets in through third gear, it's gone.
Yeah, and finally we come to you, Tommy. So how was it for you?
It wasn't the best off the line, bogged down a bit, but turbo torque, once I got into third gear, just sailed past you guys in the end.
And I guess that's progress.
So then what exactly happened? Well, the 400Z won. It completed the standing quarter mile in 14.8 seconds. The 370Z took 15 seconds, the 350Z took 15.2 seconds, and the 240Z came last with a time of 18.3 seconds. However, that's not the whole story, because later we'll enable the tuned map in Bob's 370Z to see if it can go even quicker than the new car. But before that, let's wind the clock back to 1969, when the iconic 240Z first appeared in Japan. Although back then, it was originally called the Fair Lady Z. The name changed to Datsun 240Z when it arrived in the UK in 1970. If you bought one new, it would have cost you around £2,000. That's about 20 grand in today's money. Today, they're worth anywhere from 18 all the way up to £50,000.
To me, this 240 looks absolutely beautiful, such a great shape. Some rather unkind person on the team said it looks a bit like a Timu Ferrari 275 GTB. Kind of get where they're coming from, but I still love it nonetheless. Not sure about these headlights though. They're not going to provide much light in the dark, are they? It's little candles, but I love the chrome bumper. Just the shape of it. Cars don't look as cool as this anymore. Love the inside of this car. I mean, it's so of its time, yet it's still sporty. I mean, the dash design, the little gear lever, got quite a long throw on that. The super thin steering wheel, the old-fashioned switches here, the old-fashioned radio and sliders there. You've got 2 weird levers here. That is the choke, and this one holds the rev, so when you're warming it up. Seats, they're comfortable to sit in, but probably don't hold you particularly well when you go around the corner. Well, I can't fault those. The boot, it's quite a decent size. Can it fit a man in there, though? Let's find out, man. Don't damage it.
Nice copper.
No, look, you're damaging it. Look, you pulled this seal off already with your bottom. Go on, just get in. Look, see, look at the damage you've done there. Drew John, why did you insist on climbing into the boot, you crazy person? Okay, look at that.
The 240Z was eventually replaced by the larger, more powerful 280Z in 1978, before the 300ZX arrived in 1983 with a V6 engine. Nissan developed a completely new 300ZX in 1989, which came with variable valve timing, rear-wheel steering, and, in some cars, twin turbos. You might be wondering why that car isn't here. That's because we're looking at Z cars, not ZXs. Which brings us on to the fact that Nissan went back to basics in 2002 when it launched the naturally aspirated 350Z. At the time, they cost from £25,000, but they're now worth anywhere between £3,000 and £20,000. This car is an S-Tune GT. About 50 were built to celebrate Nissan winning the 2004 Japanese Touring Car Championship, and they originally cost around £50,000. However, this is the only one in the UK, and it's worth double that, at £100,000.
I do like the look of the standard 350Z, but this one, I'm not sure about this body kit. It looks a bit like someone's just done it in their garage, doesn't it? With the weird front bumper, the especially weird rear bumper, that big wing, and some fake vents down the side. The only add-on that I really like are the NISMO wheels. It's almost like they've ruined the look of it. I'm not going to complain about the NISMO upgrades here on the inside because these seats are so nice. Big Alcantara, they really hold in place. They're body hugging way better than those ones in the 240Z. And we've got electric windows, we've got a more modern looking dash, a steering wheel that's a little bit thicker but not too thick. And oh my God, the gear shift on this is just, oh, it's so much tighter. I like this. Let's just check out the practicality on the 350 then. Oh, it's quite heavy, this is. I think the boot struts have gone and this wing's added a load of weight. Can you climb in without damaging this bespoke tail end? Can you fit in there? You need to put your head under the bar, I think. That's it, look. Now, look, keep sliding. Go on. No. That's it. There we go. You ready? Look at this shot here.
Nissan launched the 370Z in 2008 and it cost from £30,000. Nowadays used prices range from £5,000 to £22,000.
I prefer the shape of the 370 to the 350 because it reminds me a bit more of the original 240Z. This one's obviously had a wrap on it by the people that own it. They do a load of 350 and 370Z cars, so check them out if you want to get yourself one of those. There's also some upgrades on this car, so visually we've got a front and rear Nismo bumper from a later 370Z. Now the owner of this car has even done some little add-ons himself at home. I'm not sure they look any worse. It's on the Nismo S tune. There's been quite a few mods here on the inside, most notably these bucket seats. They're quite nice, but I prefer the ones in the 350Z, the official ones. They've added a load of carbon fibre to it, but generally underneath here is the standard 370Z interior. And personally, I prefer the interior of the 350Z. This wasn't exactly progress for me. So on the 370Z, the relocation of the brace bar further forward means that it's a bit more practical in some ways, though the owner of this has fitted this, I don't know, what is that? An extra brace bar. Anyway, James, let's see if you can fit into this. I would say overall the boot on the 350 is slightly better.
Oh.
Go on, keep going.
It's got the roll cage.
No, this is. No, see, told you the 350 is definitely more practical.
Last up, we've got the 400Z, which is technically just called the Nissan Z. It first went on sale in 2022 in Japan, the USA and Australia, plus a few other countries, and it cost the equivalent of around £27,000. However, it was never officially sold in the UK, and that's why this particular car has been imported.
I think the 400Z looks the second best after the 240Z. In fact, I think it's closer to that car than the other two. The 350, then the 370 get increasingly more kind of macho and butch, whereas this gets a bit more svelte again. The car has actually been lent to me by Whiff Bits, and you can buy it. It's available for sale, so go check them out. There's a link in the description. This interior seems nicer and more modern. You've got digital dials, you've got proper infotainment system, nice gear shift, steering wheel's nice, lots of soft touch materials, and the seats, they're body hugging, and plus the Alcantara on them helps grip you. And like with all the other Z cars, we have the dials here on the dash as well. Right, and final boot test. Go on then, James. I think this is a lot better. It's not quite as good as the original, but it's better than the other two, I'm sure. You're not. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
That's enough boot shenanigans. Now let's see how these cars compare in a rolling race.
3, 2, 1.
Go.
Come on, 240.
Woo! Come on, 350. Here he comes. Oh, this is what happened in the drag race. Oh, he's coming past. That 400 is gone. and the 240 is so far behind. Oh, hello. Thanks for coming in again. You're so far behind. It's like, for the first 5 meters, you're with us, aren't you, Rory? And then you're just watching us race.
The great thing is I have no rev counter and my speedometer is going like this. So I was doing somewhere between 81 and about 113 miles an hour through that. I've got no idea.
Bob, you and I had another good race, and it's kind of similar to the drag race where you're behind, then you steadily come past, and then once you're in front of me, I can't reel you in.
It's literally got to be the gearing in that diff then.
Yeah, it's strange, isn't it? Was that better for the 400Z? You were always ahead, or did you have a bit of wheel spin when you planted it because of the turbo torque?
A little bit of wheel spinning first, but once I was going, obviously turbo torque just wins the day, doesn't it? One interesting thing is this has a speed limiter at just over 180 kilometers an hour. So you and Bob were actually coming back pretty quick at me, to be fair.
Do you know what? I did a drag race in that car the other day. I was like, what's happening? The power's gone. I forgot. It's Japanese import, isn't it? And they restrict them to 180. Oh, okay, that's one of the advantages of having an official UK car. No such problem. Right, we're going to do one more race.
Before our next race, a quick message that could save you big time. If you're looking to buy a used car, bike or van anytime soon, then this is for you. We've partnered with our friends at Car Vertical to give you a special offer to check that it's not a write-off, stolen or had its mileage changed. Look at this Nissan GTR on Car Vertical. It's done just 7,648 miles and passed inspection, but it's been written off multiple times, including for structural damage. You'd never have known that without a car history check. So when buying a used car, bike or van, run a Car Vertical report using code carwow for 20% off, or follow the link in the description. Now, back to the race.
Now, before this next rolling race, I just wanted to show you a great deal I found on a Nissan through carwow. If you want to find out what the Nissan is and the saving, click on the pop-out banner, scan the QR code, or follow the link in the description of this video. 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, look at that 370 go.
Sounds absolutely insane.
The gearing is definitely different in that. That was so strange. Oh, wait. Hello, thanks for coming.
Yeah, again, really enjoyable. I was not in that race, let's put it that way.
That was weird, Bob. You picked up really quickly. It was almost like you were in second gear, but you were in third.
My car, when it was mapped originally, third gear is what they mapped it in.
Right, so it's all like set up for third. Like it shot off, but once again I could see the gearing differences between the two cars when we were changing. What really surprised me though was how close the 370 was to the 400. I thought with that torque, it would absolutely just demolish all the other cars, but it didn't.
I was actually thinking if it had been a bit further, I'd have had him.
I'm not so sure about that. Well, you would have done. I'll tell you why. Did you reach your speed limiter?
Yes.
But I did think it would pull off harder right from the get-go, but it just didn't.
Even in third gear, it just didn't really feel like it had the guts that a usually turbocharged car would, to be fair.
Strange. However, those engines are ripe for tuning. People are like putting like 500 horsepower at them just with a simple stage 1 tune. So I think if you buy one of those, and you can buy that from Withbits, you should definitely just do like a simple map on it. Anyway, let's move on.
Because now I want to experience that classic 240Z for myself. It might be the slowest car here, but how quickly can it put a grin on my face on a twisty road?
I'm amazed just how lovely this old car is to drive. The engine is an absolute peach, loves to rev, it's got enough performance. The brakes, I thought they'd be terrible, they're not. The steering, yeah, it's heavy because it's not assisted, but it's got so much feel. And the handling, what? You can drive this thing on the throttle. What an absolute dream. It's surprisingly easy to heel and tow as well. This car proves that you don't need loads of power to have fun. It's so good. Back in the day, this must have been amazing. And those twin Weber carbs are just raucous. I love this. I'll have to jump in the 350 now, only because I've got to film it, but I'd like to spend the rest of the day in this. Thank you very much. Okay, to be fair, this feels worlds apart. I'm more like what I'm familiar with. I remember going on the launch of the original 350Z. This one feels sharper with all the S-Tune goodness to the suspension, the engine, the brakes, and the sound of it as well. Oh. The way he wants to go sideways. Stability control kicked in there and really killed the power. That's one thing that's definitely improved. Stability control systems let you have a bit of play without getting too worried. But oh, this whole car just feels like it wants to just hoon about. What a car. Gear shift is meaty but short throw. The engine responsive. I love this actually. I much prefer the way it drives than the way it looks. What an absolute belter. Why did they make so few of these? This is brilliant. I've got a feeling this might be peak Z. We shall see though. Maybe the 370 is just that little bit better still. Unsurprisingly, so similar to the 350. One thing I'm noticing though, stability control way better, so it's not so interfering. Just looks after you, doesn't hamper you. Performance wise, really not much in it. This actually has a rev matching feature because of the tune on it, but everything about it just feels very similar. The suspension is firmer because this has got aftermarket coilovers on it. I think I prefer the 350, you know, but then this car's got 9,000 miles on it. 350 only has 20. The gearbox just doesn't feel as tight on this, but once again, it could be age related. Still, it's fun, but maybe a bit of a downgrade on the previous car, but then that is a very limited special version of the 350, so I'm not exactly comparing apples with apples. Finally then, the new 400Z. So, is it a massive improvement on what went before? Well, in some ways, yes. So, if I'm going to do a long distance, I'd rather be in this. Suspension's more comfortable, insulation's better, it's not quite as noisy. And that brings me on to what's not as good. It's not quite as noisy. It just doesn't sound as good. The steering is sharp though, so the initial turning is good, and when you put your foot down, well, you can feel it start to break traction because you've got that turbo torque. However, the gear shift isn't quite as nice as in all the other cars, and it just seems a little bit more floaty, it feels softer, but in many ways it's quite playful and predictable. So if you like a bit of like Larry, like tail out kind of action, this will give it you, and with stability on it will give it you as well without making things dangerous. Just like that, you see, you can just play with it a bit, which is kind of what you want on the road. Though, I do notice this car's added weight over all the others I've driven. It feels a bit heavier. So how will that affect it on the brake test? Let's find out. If you'd rather watch another drag race with a bunch of Japanese cars, click on the pop-out button up there, scan the QR code, or follow the link in the description. If not, stay here for the brake test. What will happen to Rory in the 240Z? So we're going to get up to 60.
Pray for me. Oh, that was so horrible.
Rory, you lost. Did you lock up at all, or did you manage it?
I managed it exquisitely, but the managing it didn't actually really do a lot, and I lost by, I genuinely can't even see where you are.
I'm surprised that this beat the 400Z.
It's a very heavy car at the end of the day, and I was in ABS basically the entire time.
This thing just like hooked up. It was really good. Bob, I think it might have been operator error with your car, because I can't imagine the difference being this great, especially as you've got upgraded brakes and faster tyres.
I'll put that down to operator error as well.
Well, do you know what? We're going to give you another go, but we're going to up the stakes by doing it from 100 miles an hour, and we're going to... The 240 sit this one out. Here comes the cones. 3, 2, 1... That's more like it. You did a good job that time, Bob. I think we're bang on it because our cars are so close. But Tommy, I think you did a better job. I think you might have been operator error earlier as well.
Yeah, definitely hooked up better on the brakes this time. Less ABS.
I don't think I've ever had the ABS work so well.
Well, Bob gave his car a thorough workout. That is good.
Hey, Matt, you fancy let me put it in map 2 and just having a run against that?
Against this, yeah? See if you can beat the 400Z. Let's do it. So before you're running the car at the standard, 330, and now you've pressed a button or something and you've got an extra 35 horsepower.
So they say.
Well, let's find out if that's true or not.
3, 2, 1.
Great launch there. How's his map working out for him? It's working out very poorly. I might even beat the 400Z here. Come on. Come on! Oh, Bob, what happened?
I crunched second going in.
Oh, you kind of smashed off the line anyway, and I am amazed that it was neck and neck between the 400 and this old 350 across the line. What was going on, Tommy?
Yeah, my old trick launch control didn't work very well that time. I basically hooked up immediately and it just bogged for like 2 seconds. But to be fair, although you had a great launch, you were still keeping with me pretty well.
I was really impressed with that. What a great launch that was.
So then what exactly happened? Well, the 400Z was just ahead of the 350Z, but both cars completed the standing quarter mile in 15 seconds. The 370Z took 15.9 seconds. So the times had changed from earlier, and that's the thing when you're launching manual cars. However, I thought I'd give Bob one final chance to launch his car to see how quick it really is.
Yes! That was good. 14.8.
So if I did it more often, I'd get better at it.
Yeah, it's quicker with the map, and it's as quick as the 400Z. Thank you to Bob for bringing his car down. Thank you to Nissan for lending us this and the 240, and thank you to Whiffbits for the 400Z. I hope you all enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a like. If you want to watch some other videos, click on the video windows, and if you want to compare these cars' quarter mile times to everything else we've ever drag raced, just click on the CarWow logo to check out the CarWow drag race leaderboard. Thanks for watching. See you next time.